We begin tonight with a special News Channel 13 investigations. More ambulances in the Pikes Peak region are getting to patients on time, according to the latest end-of-month review.
That is good news after AMR failed to meet the city's requirements in June and July, forcing the company to pay nearly $100,000 in fines. KRDO News Channel 13's Lauren Barnes has been digging through the data. She joins us live in studio with the numbers and AMR's response. Lauren?
After a contentious contract battle over ambulance services, American Medical Response signed a 5-year contract extension with the city of Colorado Springs in March. I met with AMR tonight to find out why, in one case since then, a patient in the Springs had to wait 48 minutes for an ambulance to arrive. When these sirens are coming for you, every second of every minute counts, and we all hope whoever is behind the wheel feels the urgency the same way you do. American Medical Response Operations Manager Jesse Baker says passion isn't the problem, it's COVID-19.
Particular challenge in implementing this new contract was COVID hitting right at the same time as entering into the new contract, and it's challenges that I have never faced in my almost 30 years in EMS.
The new contract between AMR and the city began on April 1st. With Coloradans under a stay-at-home order, AMR met its response time goals in April and May, partly because there were fewer calls coming in.
They were able to meet April's on-time performance, May's on-time performance threshold. They struggled a little bit in June, and they struggled a little bit in July.
Jim Weber, ambulance contract administrator for the city, explains that on time varies from 8 to 16 minutes, depending on whether the destination is urban or rural, and whether lights and sirens are authorized to get there faster. In June, AMR paid $52,000 to the city in late fees. 97 high-priority calls were late. On June 3rd, someone waited 48 minutes for an ambulance in the city. That 36-minute delay cost AMR $3,300. Other calls were up to 12, 13, 14, and 15 minutes late in June. But Baker says while he's not sure it was the case here, sometimes longer response times are inevitable.
When we have violent calls that were going on, we want to make sure that those scenes are safe for our providers to go into. So sometimes waiting for CSPD to clear the scene so that it is safe for us to come in extends that period of time.
The following month, AMR paid $44,000 in late fees after 112 high-priority calls were late. One patient waited 40 minutes for a ride to the hospital on July 29th. Another person waited 27 minutes, a 15-minute delay. Though the data for August won't be official for a few days, it points to improvement.
Preliminarily, August, we are in compliance with the contract.
Meaning, despite call volume increasing as Colorado gets back to business, ambulances were on time 90% of the time.
And we've seen that improvement with response times. AMR has been a good partner in that aspect and has added more resources.
And with lives on the line, AMR is working to make sure its August progress is sustainable long term. American Medical Response's 5-year base contract with the city ends in April 2025, and compliance is reviewed at the end of each month. Until then,